You are welcome, guys. Can you just imagine you are within your age of 20s and 30s, scrolling through life until suddenly your heart betrays you? But here is the shocking truth. Hypertension is once the old people's diseases, but right now it is striking down our young adults at alarming rates. About one in every eight people or young adults is already affected, usually between the age of 20s and 30s. Why are the young dying? Ranging from the skyrocketing obesity and stress to unhealthy diet and sedentary lifestyles. This epidemic is fueling heart attack, stroke, and premature death. But right in this video, I will expose all the causes, all the warning signs and symptoms, and how you can actually fight back before it is too late. If this is the first time you are watching my video, don't forget to press the subscription button, like and comment on my video. And if you are a returning subscriber, I pray God bless you. I'm still your humble brother and your friend, Stephen Oluwatumininu. Why are the young dying? Why is hypertension ravaging the age or the life of our young adults today? But before I talk about that, let me first tell you or cite you a scenario of a young lady, a 28-year-old Italian lady. This lady is so, hardworking, full with smiles, and her heart is so full with dreams. This lady is a hotelier, is always awake at night because she's always on night duty. And because of the nature of her job, she loves taking energy drinks to sustain her throughout the night to keep her awake. And usually in the daytime, she usually experiences headache, and she ignores all these warning signs and the fatigue, attributing it to stress due to the nature of her job. Until this fateful day, she just collapsed at the place of work and she was rushed down to the hospital. But the funniest thing is, when her blood pressure was observed at the hospital, it read 190/110, which is almost tearing down the lane of stroke. When she was now being explained, she was explained to that she was suffering from hypertension. She made a statement, she said, God forbid. And the same people up till today, most of our youths are usually in this same shoe. When you tell them they're suffering from hypertension, the next thing they will tell you is God forbid. When you tell them the fact, they will deny it with God forbid. Now, why are the young dying? Why is hypertension ravaging the health of our youth today? Number one factor is stress and anxiety, which is usually attributed to hustle culture and insecurities. With the nature of an economy today, or the insecurities that is everywhere, this is posing the life of our youth to consistent increase in blood pressure. As a result of our hustle culture, almost everybody now wants to get rich by all means. And this has now, exposed majority of our youth to major extraneous exercise, vigorous exercise. They go extra miles to meet, to get things done, to make ends meet. And this is consistently, activating the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which usually stimulate the production of cortisol hormone and adrenaline hormone, which usually causes vasoconstriction of blood vessels that leads to increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, and consequently its complications as stroke, heart attack, and cardiovascular disorders, which usually brings about premature death. Another factor is unhealthy diet. If you look at our economy today, most of us are involved in taking fast food, snacks, noodles, sparks, and all this kind of an unhealthy diet, even the caffeinated drinks, caffeinated beverages, high salty diet, all these things usually prone us to hypertension. Initially, when we say someone is hypertensive, we usually regard it to our aged people, our aged parents. But nowadays, people between the age of 20s and 30s are already suffering from hypertension as a result of unhealthy diet, high salt diet intake, taking caffeinated beverages, snacks, and all these fast foods. All these things usually aggravate our blood pressure, and when blood pressure is consistently rising, it usually leads to its complications like heart attacks, strokes, leading to premature death, and slowly, indirectly or directly, hypertension is ravaging the life of our youth today. Another factor that can be attributed to why hypertension is ravaging the life of our youth today is sedentary lifestyles. Our youth are now involved in sedentary lifestyle. They are not ready to do anything. They want to get rich by all means, and they are not ready to work. Everybody wants to die, but nobody wants to. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. People love, sitting down for a long period of time, sitting down, operating or working on systems, inadequate exercise, excessive weight gains, and series of sedentary lifestyle, smoking, alcohol intake, substance abuse. All these things usually causes increase in blood pressure, and if blood pressure is consistently being increased uncontrolled, it will lead to hypertension with its complications like stroke, heart attack, and series of cardiovascular disorders, which is causing series of premature deaths, ravaging the life of our youth today. Most of the deaths that we do attribute to spiritual causes are as a result of heart attacks. I do wonder when our youth are dying of liver cirrhosis, which is now being attributed to smoking, alcohol intake, and substance abuse. People will begin to attribute the causes of their deaths to, spiritual causes, which is just as a result of heart attack and liver cirrhosis. Please, let's put an end to hypertension ravaging the lives of our youth today. Let's put an end to liver cirrhosis, most of all these terminal diseases, diabetes, that is cutting short the lives of our youth today. Let's put an end to it instead of, putting a wrong causes or attributing the causes of their death, attributing it to spiritual causes, looking for a solution where there is no solution. Please, let's put an end to this. And how can we put an end to this? We need regular exercise. We need regular exercise, not a vigorous exercise, but regular exercise, slow and steady exercise every day. About 10 to 15 minutes exercise will be very adequate for our health to prevent us from developing hypertension. We need to reduce our salt diet intake. We need to reduce our fast food intake. We need to reduce our intake of snacks, caffeinated beverages that are risk factors for hypertension, stroke, and heart attack. We also need to, regular examination of our health, regular examination of our blood pressure, regular checkup. Don't let us wait until when hypertension is almost knocking us down, or when we are already at the lane of stroke before we are expected to go for regular or medical checkup. Please, let's cultivate the habit or the tradition of going regularly for medical checkup. Mostly, if hypertension is earlier detected and treated appropriately, that is when the prognosis can be favorable. Please, let's forget about attributing the causes of premature death to spiritual causes. Let's face the real deal. Let's face the real story. Let's know the causes of our premature death. Let's know the causes of hypertension, why it's actually occurring within our age of 20s and 30s, and let's make sure that we change or turn a new leaf. Let's change the music. because hypertension is a deadly and a silent killer that is gradually ravaging or killing our young adults every day at every minute. Almost 1 in every 8 adults are now being affected, are now being diagnosed of hypertension with its series of complications. Please, if you have benefited from this my video, don't forget to like my video, comment on my video, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and God bless you for watching.